All right, y'all. Welcome to, I guess we're now in week 7, I believe, uh, this week here in Macro 204. So we're past the halfway point. I hope you all enjoyed your spring break. I most certainly did not. I was sick for half of it and working very hard the other half of it. Um, and I apologize for my absence on Monday. I was obviously dealing with the sickness. I also apologize for not having the midterms fully graded. I anticipated on doing that, but again, I was sick. Um, and lastly, I apologize that I'm not able to get this lecture live because of the internet. Like the Childish Gambino album. But my internet's been kind of in and out because of the storms going on today. But hopefully that the recorded lecture does give me a little bit of time to catch up. I think between the fiscal policy and supply side lecture, I'm going to be able to cover both today within the 3 hours I've allotted myself. So fingers crossed, I get to cover a lot more today. And I was able to actually use a little bit of extra time to come up with a little fancy new Excel tool that I hope is a little bit cool for y'all as I find it a little cool. So we'll talk about that when we get into fiscal policy. Just looking forward, just know that the withdrawal deadline is tomorrow, Thursday, 3/24, if you plan on withdrawing. That's important. Why is that important? Because I want to make one more announcement, and I'm shocked that I have to do this because I've made thousands of them so far. Do not plagiarize. There's a zero tolerance policy for plagiarism. What is plagiarism? Copying other people's text, okay, whether word for word or not. If you're copying it and it's not your answer, it's plagiarism. Let's say you use someone else's text as a guide. That's okay. You're allowed to go on the internet. You're allowed to Google things. I had no problem with that. I actually encourage it if you're having a hard time and you don't find my teaching style, the best fit. You don't find the textbook the best fit. That's fine. I'm not a teaching God, whatever. You're allowed to use the internet. I have no problem with that. Do start with lecture though, because the homeworks kind of follow from lecture. But some of y'all don't watch lecture, you're not going to hear this. Whatever. I don't get that. But some of y'all don't watch lecture, and then you spin your wheels for 3 hours Googling things, and then you're like, why didn't I just watch lecture? And I'm like, why didn't you just watch lecture? Just watch lecture. It's mandatory. But anyway, so if you use sources outside of lecture, that's fine. I have no problem with it. Just throw the hyperlink down there. That's all I'm asking. I don't need a formal MLA or whatever. Just throw the hyperlink, okay? Because some of y'all are going to talk about things like marginal propensity to invest and marginal propensity to export and marginal propensity to import, marginal propensity for the government to purchase. Those are things that I have not brought up. Those are things that are not in the textbook. If I see that in your answer, I know you went to another site. And then what I'll do is I'll see first, did you at least make it your own? If you didn't, that's an issue. Then I'll see, did you cite it? If you didn't cite it, but it is your own answer, I might give you a little wiggle room there. I don't know. It's kind of case by case on that. If you made it your own, didn't cite it, maybe. No. If you made it your own, didn't cite it, you need to cite it. If you cited it, didn't make it your own, like if it's really, really close to the source material, then that's a failure. If there's at least a little bit there, I might send a warning. Don't presume that I'm going to send a warning though. I want you to act as though every instance of not citing a secondary source, and not putting it sufficiently in your own words will result in immediate failure, because there's a good chance that it will. So I have this strict policy because in the past few semesters I've noticed that people were cheating, and it got way worse in pandemic. Y'all think I'm an idiot, but no, I can clearly tell when someone's plagiarizing. I failed, I think, 7 students last semester out of 40. This semester has been a little bit better. I've only had 2 so far. Just don't do it. And then, so if you don't cite a foreign source, aka not me or not the lecture, and not the textbook. Okay, if you do cite it, but it's not sufficiently in your own words, or if you take an answer from another student, those are the 3 ways you can fail this course. And if you don't do any of the work, if you do, very, very little of the work, those are the ways you can fail the course. If you're putting an honest effort, by honest I mean honest, not cheating, and effort I mean, you're having a hard time, but you're clearly like putting the hours in. I can notice that. I see that. You won't fail. If you're answering half the homeworks and they're garbage, like you're not following directions, you don't put the explanations in, you're going to get, that'll fail the course. But short of that, the only real way to fail the course is to cheat. And not only is it the only essential way to fail the course outside of not doing like missing a crap ton of work, it's an instant way to fail the course. Don't presume that I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Don't presume I'm going to give you clemency. I'm not very forgiving, as someone just found out. And yeah, I feel bad a little bit, but the rules are there. I've made them very clear, and I'm not going to make exceptions just because of the circumstance that someone happens to be in. You know what the rules are. It's on you to follow them. Okay? The second you decide to copy and paste an answer, you're saying these 4 points on this homework assignment are worth more to me than the course grade, which is just a bad calculation. And maybe you got away with it. Maybe you get away with it once. You're not going to get away with it enough times to justify that calculation there. That's the other reason why I make it so strict, because perhaps I'm not going to catch every example, but if I catch one example, that essentially makes it a harsh enough punishment such that in foresight, you should know not to do that once, not even once. Okay. So if you've gotten away with it and I haven't caught you, congratulations. Presuming that I haven't caught you on an assignment that I've already graded, because I always catch you on on the midterm or something like that, and you're really screwed. But presume that I will catch you. Presume that if you do it multiple times, you're increasing your chance of being caught. And presume that the risk, not even presume, I can tell you that the risk of cheating is not worth whatever value calculation you have. Rather leave the answer blank than try cheating on, unless you don't understand anything from any homework such that you think you can get away with getting a 0. There's your expected utility from cheating is just so the expected value you get out of cheating is just 0. So it's just not worth it. Just from your point of view, from mine, just don't. I'm sorry that I have to have this conversation every time. Or y'all should be sorry. Well, I should presume that the people who are watching are still being honest. But I'm telling you, someone's going to cheat again. I just know it. I've seen it. And they're going to be surprised, no matter how many announcements, how many times I've written it. They'll be surprised. All right. I'm so sick of having this conversation. So I'm done with it. Yeah, let's move on. Let's get to actual work so I can talk about the things that I actually like macroeconomics. All right.